That makes it fun, doesn't it, Tom? It's 10 o'clock. Call Sawyer County Administrative Committee meeting to order. Ask the clerk to call a roll, please.
Ron Kinsley.
Here.
Ron Buckholz.
Present.
Tom Duffy. John Righeimer is excused. Stacy Hessel. Here. You have a quorum.
Thank you. Next item is pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Number 5, certification compliance open meeting laws.
This meeting was noticed to the media and public as required by Section 19.84 of the Wisconsin statutes.
Thank you. Number 6 is the agenda. The agenda is set. Number 7 is public comment. Anybody wishing to speak to the committee may for 3 minutes. Number 8, consider approval of the minutes of the previous meeting, which was February 12th. Motion by Mr. Duffy, second by Ms. Hessel to approve as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Number 9, County Clerk, Ms. Liz Klein.
This is our usual report. February, we've had a lot of customer service. People, dogs, marriages are picking up. Right now, we're working on elections. We streamlined the election process, created new documents for processes, gave all new materials to the municipalities, which were well received. Everyone has their ballots 3 weeks early, so they were able to start getting their absentee ballots out. So I got on the front end of getting the ballots printed, which was good. Everything's going great. We have a lot of new clerks now, so I'm doing a one-on-one training with all of them as they come in instead of these large chaotic group trainings. And so it's worth it. It's paying off to take that extra time to just work one-on-one with them because I can address their issues in real time. And we were looking at our comprehensive plan, our strategic plan, and making some changes to our website, making information consistent on our website. There were links going to different places, and we're still working with IT and Civic Plus on improving the homepage. But for now, we've tried to add a lot more notices for all of the related county agencies and committees as they come in. So we're publishing a lot more notices now on the homepage. And also, we did a bulletin board for Senior Resource Center that's been well received.
Thank you. Any questions? No. Number 10, Veteran Service Report. Mr. Elliott.
Good morning. Hey, I've got a question. Did we open up for public comment and did I miss it? Okay, sorry. I must have been sleeping. All right, just trying to back you up. Okay, for February, we had 521 phone calls, 779 letters, emails, and faxes, and 178 office visits, with 75 of them being walk-ins. You can compare that to a workload perspective of February 2025. It's fairly close. And then for VA disability compensation and pension claims, the Veteran Service Office submitted 30 claims to date and received retroactive payment of $94,606.72 for the claims that were decided in the veterans' favor. And then again, a comparison for 25 where we had 34 and $43,158. La Crosse Vet Center, we continue to co-manage care for our veterans with them, and we hosted 2 individual and 5 group counseling sessions in February. For outreach in February, continue to have coffee and conversation with our veterans on the first Wednesday of every month. And then on Valentine's Day, the Friday before, Valentine's was on a Saturday, so Friday, Nicole and I went out we spent a couple hours getting through a few living facilities and we didn't have enough time to get it done. So on Saturday, Nicole and her daughter and her husband went and finished up the Valentine's Day. And it was a big hit. Her daughter kind of looks like Shirley Temple, if you will, the hair. I think it made the day for a lot of these veterans. So we also hosted training for the Northwestern Wisconsin County Veteran and Tribal Veteran Service Officers. It's again about 20 counties. We did that down at the Veterans Community Center. I want to thank Mr. Markgren for coming down and welcoming the counties in to get us started. And also, I want to thank Mike Colson and Alex Butterfield for getting us a hotspot down there. It was like, we did teams, our last training session was out of Madison, and we did it virtually. So, and that was just like being in the office. We didn't have they don't have the capacity to do what we needed to do down there, but Mike and Alex hooked us up within about 20 minutes and we're out of there. So anyway, that goes back to testing your equipment before you step forward. But we did, so they saved us quite a bit on that one. But we had people from Minneapolis-St. Paul Medical Center, Madison. We had the Northern Wisconsin Veterans Memorial Cemetery, Joel Clapero, who manages that, come up and talk. And we had some good training, so. And it's important because a lot of our Northwest area are new CVSOs, new TVSOs, and trying to put faces to names to help them is one thing to learn what forms to fill out, but knowing the background, the processes, the structure, and the people behind it is very helpful when you run into difficulties. So hopefully there'll be success out of that. As far as social media recap, Facebook, we had 228 followers. We went up 5 for the month, and then 3,596 views. That went down about 18.5%. And then 165 engagements, and that went up 55.7%. So people are using it. It's busy. We now have 2 foreign countries. God help me, Bangladesh, and I don't know what the other one was, but somebody over there is looking at us. And then for our training, we are currently up to date. We've got spring conference coming up the end of April. So. But other than that, we're doing what we need to do to stay current. Is there any questions? Okay.
Appreciate everything you do down there.
Yep, you're welcome.
Number 11, Veteran Tribute. Mr. Marker.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. After securing the purchase of our property, I did put out an RFP for demolition contractors to tear down the old Dairy Queen. And we had 9 respondents, which I thought was pretty solid. I did meet on site with 5 of them and kind of talk through the project. And you have the results in front of you there. I went through these with Brian Lehner. We examined each of them and made sure they were complete. And then the low proposal was JR Excavating. I did contact 3 references, thank you. And they all spoke very highly of their services. I also called someone else who I knew had done some work, because references always give a good reference. I always like to get an unfiltered one. That was glowing as well, so I don't see a reason to not propose moving forward with them. So that is what is up for discussion for the committee.
So was his quote, because it's lower than everybody else's, but was it including all of the same information? It was just that?
Yep.
Okay.
Complete demolition and removal of everything, including the concrete around the building.
And then also, if we approve this, can we approve it with a extension of a few $1,000s in case there's any hiccups? Or how would you, let's say that it costs more, would we have to come back? If there was something like a recycling surcharge or something of that nature that wasn't planned, is there, I can't remember what the word is that I'm looking for. Contingency that we could add in there just to be safe, to cover the projects?
That would be up to the committee. I did put forth, what I can consider a hard number. If you want to put something in case there's something that we didn't foresee, that would be up to the committee. It wouldn't be a bad idea.
I just want to make sure that it's not only covering the person that we consider, but then, I mean, because I think that is wonderful. I just don't want there to be any hiccups. You know, if he's bidding it low because he's a great guy and he loves veterans, that's applaudable. I just want to make sure that he's not losing money either. So that's what I worry about. So if we could put a contingency on there, what was you said a hard number, that was for yourself. So I'd like to make a motion so we can discuss. I would make a motion to accept JR Excavating up to $25,000.
I'll second that.
So the motion by Ms. Hessel, second by Mr. Buckles, to not to exceed 25,000, yes.
Can I ask a question? How about insurance? What does that cover? What doesn't it cover?
It's our full requirement for all of our contractors, and he did submit that with it. It's a certificate of insurance showing everything that their dollar amounts and all of that.
Okay.
So we're good there. If you're doing that motion, I would recommend that it's a contingency for things outside of the scope of the work. So that, because if you say up to 25,000, I don't want someone to come in and say, well, the bill's 25,000, you know
I
what I
got
mean?
you. No, I get it. So, and that's why I said up to 25,000. Can we add what Mike just said so I don't have to repeat it, Liz, or?
Motion to accept the bid by JR Excavating, including a contingency of up to, or not to exceed 25,000. I don't know how you want to word that. So,
This is how we're gonna word it, if I
Okay.
may. We're gonna accept the bid at 19,200.
With a contingency? Okay.
I don't have the bids in front of me, so 19,200 with the contingency not to exceed 25,000.
With the discretion of the administrator to allow him up to 25,000.
Did you hear that, Liz? With the discretion
Discretion,
by the administrator
up to 25,000.
up to 25,000.
Otherwise, he's gotta come back here.
What would that contingency
You want
cover?
this?
In case there's like an additional recycling fee or abatement when they tear it down.
We have to have a contract, or will have, for the 19.
Correct.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
so he just can't arbitrarily say, I want more,
that is correct.
because the weather's
Yep.
bad or, yeah.
Yep.
Should it say with the discretion of the administrator of up to 20? Should it say with the discretion by the administrator of up to 25,000 for unexpected
Yes.
expenses or something comes, right, you're saying if they
Yeah.
discover something that wasn't unanticipated expenses.
That is correct.
Okay.
Do you want to read it back when you're ready?
Still stays under everybody else, yeah, we're okay.
Okay, motion to accept the bid at 19,000, should you say the name of the contractor?
Yes,
Motion to accept the bid by JR Excavating at 19,200 with the discretion by the administrator of up to 25,000 for any unanticipated expenses.
Can you add the word total for up to 25,000 total?
Yeah, so it doesn't look additional.
Not that it's additional cost,
Yes,
but
okay.
yeah.
Bid by JR Excavating. Motion to accept the bid by JR Excavating at $19,200 with the discretion by the administrator of up to $25,000 total for any unanticipated expenses.
My motion still stands, so.
By Stacy Hessel. Motion by Stacy Hessel.
And I still second that, but for discussion, I'm glad we're putting that contingency in there because I'm just not saying that they do that, but they want to raise their price knowing that we was approved 25,000, so they would go to that 25,000. So with the contingency and with Mike's permission, then they just can't go in there and add that to that estimate without him knowing.
Right, I think the motion is more clear the way that the Chairman Kinsley worded it. I just wanted to make sure that everybody was covered and that it's not holding up the project if there was something that was not seen.
Well, I assume the bid is pretty detailed as to what he's gonna cover with that.
I really don't anticipate any problems because we're not reconstructing on the site. Like, I don't know if you followed the progress, but the lumber exchange, when they did the demo work there were 3 foundations there, but they're rebuilding on it, so they had to clean that up. We're filling and putting slab on, so it really doesn't matter once you get down there, unless it was something that would inhibit water from escaping, and then that could freeze, thaw, crack the finished concrete. That would be the only issue I would see. So we should be good.
I wonder if there's some power concerns there, part of why I'm here today. As much overhead power lines, I wonder if JR accommodated that. Was that in your specs by chance?
I didn't spec it that way. That's why I did an RFP, so contractors could decide what they felt they had to
Very
do.
unlikely he covered that.
Right.
But
Do you want to introduce yourself so you can talk about the demo?
Good morning. My name's Ken Disher. I'm a retired Xcel Energy design engineer. And actually, I was involved with powering up the Dairy Queen in 1996. They did a renovation. But anyway,
You did a fine job. It lasted a long time.
it's still there and functioning. And that's part of the trouble is there's overhead power on the site that feeds more than the Dairy Queen building. It feeds a couple
There's a
streetlights,
street light, yep.
which are probably billed to the Wisconsin DOT, which may get cumbersome in the duration of outage we can take. I would expect us to be able to remove them while he's there with a backhoe. If that's 3 days, that's probably reasonable. If it's 3 months, it's probably not reasonable. So I don't know if there's a duration of his.
He said it would be a 3-day job.
Okay, good. Ultimately, everything we take out, I presume you're gonna want electricity back to that site upon completion. So we want to be careful not to remove everything and then have to pay to put it back in. And that's kind of my challenge to help, the project is to minimize those XL costs.
I know that there's overhead power to the street light. Does that in turn feed that stoplight, or is that underground to the stoplight?
I don't know that. I don't think they're tied together. The stoplights were there prior to the streetlight.
So the stoplight should be underground then, I think.
I believe they are, but actually, now that you say that, I'm not sure where they go. They might cross the street to a box.
There is a box literally right there on the sidewalk.
Okay,
But that's just a transformer. That doesn't mean that that's what it's from.
right.
So wouldn't Digger's Hotline get involved in that, where they have to be called and come out there, whoever, and mark
3 days
it?
prior.
Correct, yep.
Okay.
Yep, so it's really accommodating the power usage once this is done. Getting rid of stuff is pretty easy, but then accommodating, there's actually 2 streetlights, one on the Railroad Street side and one on the 63 side that are fed from that pole. But anyway, it's there may be some cost involved to get the power put
What's
back
a
in.
worst case scenario for a 3-day?
I can't answer that, but
So what you're really saying is you need to call, like, is it Excel? And then, oh, okay.
when I volunteered to handle that on behalf of the
Okay.
project, it's a complex, weird communication to ask specifically what you need. We want a demo, but leave it there for replacement. So, I'll commit to handling that. I have the meter information on the old building. Getting it ready to demo, it should be really pretty easy. But there's some assumptions I'm making with the poles that are on site there. So I'm not sure who the project, is you? Mm-hmm. So maybe we'll get together and try to see what's acceptable. If a pole can remain, I'm sure you'd rather it not. But that might be could be a $10,000 decision on pole stay or go, so.
10,000 cheaper will keep it.
Great. Okay, thanks, guys.
Thank you for explaining. Yeah, we got to vote, yeah.
Questions?
You did great.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next bullet, committee design discussion. Mr. Markert.
In order to keep up with our timeline, not only were we approving the demo contract, we also need to start looking at potential design of the site.
Is that a Silverado or a Ford?
I didn't do that, so it's not a Ford. Yeah, just give it to her with it. You can share right now. I didn't do.
Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to, this is going to the full county board now, next. We didn't put that in the motion? No, just in this committee? Okay. No, I mean, the motion to select JR Excavating, that motion?
No, because everything is at the administrative committee.
Oh, okay, so it doesn't go on county board? Okay, thank you.
They approved the original spend, we just approved how to spend it. Thank you.
No,
This is just a preliminary. This is just a preliminary to give an idea of what possibly could be there. So it's open for suggestions. It's keeping it local, keeping it as a resource unit instead of, so it's a combined, it's a place to sit, like a little sitting spot, but it's also more of a resource area, is what you're saying. And then the placards in the back are what would be used as the resource.
okay. I like that you've done and put stuff together. Thank you. Do we know how much room we have there, foot-wise?
Roughly 40 wide by 47 long. So about the size of this room is what you could compare it to, the size of the boardroom here.
Yes. So tell us about all these other pages with wordings on, please.
Well, those would be, I think what I've, I guess, when I've talked to people that have just moved to Hayward that are veterans, they are not understanding what the resources are. So I think it would be our responsibility to give resources of, where they can go, how they can do outreach. Some is informational, but there's the cable veterans tribute area in their city central. I don't know if you've gone to cable, but it's more of a resource and it's a local veterans honorary area. But they also have maintenance with that because they've made it so that they have a committee that maintains that. We do not have that. So was trying to design it with the help of others to make it maintenance free. And so the lighting that is shown, I think when I did talk to Empire Lighting, and she thought just doing landscaping lighting, which would be inverted into the cement looking up, and then also some overhead lighting. But I don't know necessarily if you'd need a whole electric box for that, or if you just run conduit underneath the cement and then have a little hidden box that we could, so it would be, and then stamped cement, because people have told me don't do solid cement because you don't want kids skateboarding on there. So there's just things that are taking into consideration, the location, keeping it maintenance-free, durable, so we're not having to connect with, with keeping that area upkept besides what the veterans would do, or maybe our county maintenance department, but there is a gentleman locally that does stamped cement work. He also he makes cement benches, so it'd kind of be a one-stop shop. But he was going to put together numbers to present, but I didn't have that for today.
That's fine. You put a lot together, I appreciate that. I'm looking at a page of America Wars and thinking about that. Now, do we want to have room to add on to that, or is this going to be up to this date? Just trying to think of different things.
Well, I think, hopefully there's not, right now it's just a situation or whatever, but I think not leaving room, I don't think we want to be pro-war, but I mean, we can always update it at another time, and when maybe the Legion, I don't want to put words in their mouth, so please don't put that in the paper so I get yelled at, but if we could maybe that could be an extra effort years down the road where we update that, but right now, that's what we have in front of us as the list, and I don't think that we want to save room for more wars and have it. Mr. Elliott, do you have any suggestions on that?
No, I don't. I really don't. I'm, like I said before, you tell us what you want, and then it's up to us to figure out how to get it done.
But do you feel like the resource part of it would be more than just we could design it however we want, but having resources available there, like what's presented, would that be okay?
Yeah, I don't know, that's another thing, that things change. Resources that we had, 10 years ago are not available, or they've changed, or they've added on resources. So I don't know how exacting you want versus it's almost easier to have a reference of where to go than it is to try listing everything that we do.
We'll have
Yeah.
setbacks from the roads too.
Well, we can just keep working on that. But it's an open suggestion. I mean, right now, just moving forward with the demo is a lot further than where we were at last year. And so I don't know how we decide what exactly goes in there, or if you trust the, once we get it demoed, if we just figure it out from there. I don't know what you guys would like.
Well, Mr. Duffy probably has some ideas by then. Yes, I like what you put together, and yeah. And it might be one thing, once it's demoed, we all individually take time to stop there and see what we think.
Right, yeah, yep. And then we just have to, right now, if we're looking at doing a cement, we would have to put that on somebody's calendar because everybody gets filled up in the area. So just trying to be proactive with moving the project along. If our projected due date is November 1st, that would be great to get somebody going. But, all the other, like the informational items that's going to be determined by how much we have left with the nuts and bolts. So, excavating, buying the lot for one, and then demoing it, and then getting it prep ready and doing the cement. That's going to take a lot of our budget. So everything else in the design is going to be determined by how much we have left. And I understand that completely, so.
Okay. Anybody else have comments regarding this?
No, it's pretty much explained it pretty good.
We'll take it home and review it and bring your thoughts back next month, and we'll continue on with that.
Thank you for keeping it on the agenda.
You're welcome.
For what it's worth, I do have an 11 o'clock appointment on site with the local guys to come up with some options. Presuming less poles is best. All right. If it's affordable.
You have,
Do you
Would-
mind if I tag along on that? Okay.
when you say local guys, do you mean like XL local guys? Oh, perfect, okay, thank you. Thanks for your work on that, Ken.
We want to know if the city owns the lights or who's paying for the light, and if they want the light to be there or not.
Yeah, the DOT will want that light to remain there if they're paying for it. The Railroad Street one might be optional through the city. But it's really a transformer pole at the back of the lot on the sidewalk into the stove work store. That's the challenge.
The one on 63 is also right at a crosswalk. We would want to keep that there.
But there's four corners there, I always think. We may serve it from the other side of the street and accomplish the same thing.
Can I request that you ask Mr. McHugh, because they're tearing up that whole road, so they might have design ideas for that lighting and sidewalk and everything going through there. They have a grant for all of the connecting roads, so you may want to include him on that conversation to find out what that looks like, because I know that he talked about some of the sidewalk that they'd be redoing, so we wouldn't necessarily have to redo that. So just, if you wouldn't mind, I want to make sure that everybody that's responsible for that.
That's a really good idea, because we have some obligation within city streets that would make it Excel's financial burden to accommodate that, so if I can get John to ask that light to be moved, it might be advantageous for everybody, so.
If that's what the project that he's doing entails, but I know that they're doing the road and all of the sidewalks, so, and gutters, so if you would connect with him so that we're not superseding, I don't want to mess with the city. I think that it's a great relationship and I don't want to ruin that, so.
Well, the Excel city relationship is good as well.
Yep. Do you have his number? Okay.
Okay, we'll move forward. Number 12, IT department report. Is Mike online or? He couldn't be here today. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Elliott. Anybody have any questions on his report?
No, it's good.
Human resource report, Ms. Rose Lilyroot. Anything to add?
I would just add, like I've said the past couple months, is when we've had openings, we're getting really good applicants and a greater number than we had a couple years ago. So we've been pretty pleased with that.
Number 15, tax levy freeze discussion. Bring us up to speed, my friend.
The proposed resolution before you would kind of level the playing field between counties like us that are very reliant on property tax versus counties that receive a little more shared revenue than we do. Sorry. Shared revenue increases, I believe, at the rate of sales tax increase throughout the state on average, and property tax is limited to our net new construction, any individual county's net new construction for the previous year. And that is a hard figure to grow. We're at about 1.2 to 1.4 annually. It's also compounded by the fact that our overall valuation grows quite rapidly, so to get net new construction can be difficult. This would level the playing field by tying it not to net new construction, but to CPI with a cap of 3.5% annually. This is something several counties have brought forward already and passed a resolution similar to this. I did kind of tweak it a little bit to make it Sawyer County with our numbers in there. So that's really what this is about.
What's your recommendation?
I would like to see something similar go through, yeah. So if we put this through and all the counties do it, it gets at least a conversation started of doing something with the revenue limits or changing the funding source somehow. I like that there's a cap in there because CPI can go wild. A couple of years ago, it was 8.5%, and I wouldn't ever want to do that, but.
I think Mr.
Mr. Bumbles.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve the resolution 2026 urging legislative action to address county funding challenges under the Wisconsin tax levy freeze.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Mr. Buckles, second by Ms. Hessel to approve. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. The next item is number 16, which is a closed session. I'm going to abstain from this closed session, so I'll let Mr. Buckles run that part of the meeting.
All right, consideration of motion to convene into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statutes 19.85, parent 1, parent C, considering employment, promotion, and compensation or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction to employ or exercise responsibility to it for purposes of discussing employee performances and evaluation and reconsideration of this appointment. And the committee will reconvene into open session immediately after following the closed session to have discussion. Well, all right, need a motion to go into closed session. We have a motion by Mr. Duffy
Second.
and a second by Ms. Hessel to go into,
You got to read that reason for closed session.
right here. Oh, here, it's on yours. The committee will be discussing and separating the administrator and finance positions. Sorry, I didn't read that in, but now, you got it now, Liz? Sorry.
It's the same as
All right, we have a motion by Mr. Duffy, a second by Ms. Hessel to go into closed session. All in favor, or roll call?
Roll call vote, Ron Kinsley abstain, Ron Buckholz,
Yes.
Tom Duffy, Stacy Hessel.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay. Okay, we're back out of closed session. We need somebody to make the motion to approve.
Oh, go ahead. The actions from closed session.
Action from the closed session.
I make the motion to separate finance from admin and promote Randy Ng to finance director.
Approve. We did it in closed session. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carried. Number 17, board appointment committee update. Correspondence reports, conferences, and other meetings.
And I would just say that I believe that the Senate will be voting on the biofuel bill on March 17th. But I'll alert Mr. Markren once I get specifics on time and date so that we can all pay attention to that vote. It'll be on Wisconsin I or WIS-I, but I just don't know what time or date exactly yet.